and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and today we are joined by Maria Droste Counseling Services here in Quincy. We'll get information about their upcoming fundraiser. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, it's nice. It's 56 degrees, partly sunny skies. It'll be warmer today with temperatures into the low 60s this afternoon with a mix of sun and clouds. Partly cloudy this evening, still kind of chilly. Lows drop off into the mid-40s. The first weekend of May looks so-so. We've got some showers around tomorrow afternoon with highs into the mid-50s. The showers will linger into Sunday morning. Again, temperatures into the mid-50s. And of course, Monday will be beautiful with lots of sunshine, a few clouds, and mild temperatures in the upper 60s. Most of next week actually looks rather mild. And for today, again, beautiful with sunshine and highs into the low 60s this afternoon. Checking out the news for you today, Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch will be asking the City Council this coming Monday night to approve the purchase of the former Eastern Nazarene College property for $21 million. The mayor says ENC has accepted that offer from the city to purchase the entire 27-acre parcel. That includes 14 buildings on the former campus and 14 residential properties owned by the school. Earlier this year, the mayor said the city should buy the property in order to control its future. Over 1,600 ideas for future uses for the property have been submitted by the public. Those include creating senior or affordable housing, creating a senior center, a performing arts center or a community center, creating a public garden and open space, and letting Quincy College use the gym and the playing fields. And the mayor says he's opposed to letting a large developer create dense housing at that site. So far, no funding source has been identified to purchase the property. The City of Quincy's debt and finances took center stage at this week's Quincy City Council meeting. Councilors learned that the city has total outstanding debt of $1.8 billion, $200,000 more than was previously reported by the administration. Council President Ann Mahoney is very concerned that the city won't be able to keep up with its debt payments without raising taxes in the future.
A 15-year debt cliff, which is what I'm calling a debt cliff, for the next 15 years until 2040, we're going to be averaging around $90 million of debt service payments that we'll have to pay for the city of Quincy, which is a lot of money. And it's made up of multiple different things, but it doesn't matter what it's made up of. It just matters that we have that kind of debt that we have to pay, which really limits ourselves when you think about the reserves. And that's where S&P came back and downgraded us from a AA+ to a AA-, because we're tapping into those one-time reserves, which are one-time challenges that we're taking money out of our reserves, our savings, and paying down our levy so the individual taxpayers don't have to pay as much in their taxes.
Mayor Thomas Koch has said the city is in good financial condition, although he is concerned about reduced funding from the state and federal governments. Koch says he will present a level-funded budget proposal to the City Council on Monday night that will reflect contractual pay raises and increases in trash collection and energy usage. Quincy City Council is supporting a statewide effort that would force major corporations that are seen by environmentalists as contributors to climate change to pay into a climate change superfund. This past week, Ward 5 Councilor Maggie McKee said that Quincy has spent over $26 million on seawall improvements and other repairs as a result of coastal flooding since 2011. That should have been paid by companies that are believed to be the biggest contributors to greenhouse gas emissions.
Even if you don't care about the environment, if we just kind of think about it from a fiscal perspective, having a revenue stream to handle some of these challenges that we're already facing and will continue to face more and more in coming years, I think will be really important. So, yes, other cities have supported it. Boston, Cambridge, Somerville, Medford, Malden, Newton, Pittsfield, and Brookline. And lots of organizations are supporting it as well. So the hope is that as more cities support it with resolutions, then the state legislators will take it out of committee, pass it through.
And Ward 3 Councilor Walter Hubley co-sponsored that resolution with McKee that passed unanimously. Senator John Keenan of Quincy has already signed on to the Senate version of the bill, which does remain in committee on Beacon Hill. The Norfolk County Sheriff's Office is being awarded for its programs that provide health care and mental health services to inmates at the Norfolk County House of Corrections in Dedham. The National Commission on Correctional Health Care has reaccredited the Sheriff's Office for its patient care, health promotion, safety and disease prevention, personnel training, medical legal issues, and other areas. The office was found to be in 100% compliance after a 3-day tour of the Dedham jail last October. The team found the clinic to be well equipped. The staff is fully CPR trained, and nurses are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The facility has been in compliance since 1989. Well, students from Quincy and North Quincy high schools recently participated in the Massachusetts Music Educators Association Eastern District Festivals that were held at Lincoln Sudbury Regional High School. The students participated in auditions and performances with other student musicians from across the state and the region. Several students also participated in the All-State Festival, representing the highest level of achievement in the state. The students rehearsed and performed under the guidance of some guest conductors, culminating in high-level performances that showcased their musical growth and achievements. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, Maria Droste Counseling Services here in Quincy getting ready for their annual Fashion for Compassion fundraiser later this month. We'll get the details coming up next. Welcome back. We're happy to welcome back to the program the good folks at Maria Droste Counseling Services here in Quincy to talk a little bit about what the organization does and also about their annual Fashion for Compassion fundraiser. It's coming up later on this month. So Mike Shanahan, who our viewers know well, is here. And Mike, you brought a newbie with you.
That's right.
Yeah, good to see you, first of all. Thanks for coming over.
Thank you. You too, Joe.
Welcome to J.J. Sorensen, new Director of Engagement at Maria Droste.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Mike, I always like to start off, I guess, with just a little history lesson about Maria Droste.
Thank you.
Who you are, what you do.
Yes, we're just across the street in the 1890s building that has scaffolding over it for a year now, but we got new windows, so we're all excited about that. The Sisters of the Good Shepherd started Maria Droste Counseling Services back in 1992, and we still have one active sister, Sister Elise, who turns 90 this July.
Wow.
So we're preparing to celebrate that with her, but she doesn't like big celebrations, so we're not gonna,
I hope she's not upset that we just revealed her age.
No, it comes with the territory.
Okay.
It's a celebration for all of us
Sure.
that, this 90-year-old person's still working like
Yeah.
she does, and she's beloved by so many. So it's a gift every day that she's with us, and I'm so grateful to work with her.
Nice.
And I'm approaching my 13th year
Has it been that long?
as
Wow.
the executive director. It's going fast. And our mission is to make mental health accessible and affordable. And so we've been doing that from the very beginning, and we use a sliding fee scale and work with people on payment plans and get people through the door so that they can get in quicker by coming to us because we're small, so we can get them in, and then we can, if there's payment issues, we take care of that. And so we do great work. We're a staff of right now about 23 therapists, and there's only 2 non-providers, JJ being the second one now, and Stacy Campbell, who
Sure.
the other one who helped, both helping support the agency and run it. But it's a great organization, and I'm privileged to be there and love the role that I have there.
Yeah. Has the staff of counselors increased, Mike, since you've been there?
It kind of ebbs and flows.
It does,
People come and go, but we do have a core that's remained with us, and over half of our staff is past interns because they believe in our mission and want to stay on with us. So I'm proud about that. There's a lot of our therapists that do couples work, and you don't find that at a lot of places. Most therapists work on a one-to-one individual basis, and fewer do couples, and then even fewer still do family therapy. And now we're going to have 3 family therapists, including me, at the place. So that helps too, because sometimes families need to interact and work on things in counseling, and they're looking for people. I'm seeing a family now, and they said, you know, we called a bunch of places, we couldn't get in anywhere, and we're so happy that you guys do family counseling.
Yeah.
So that is an asset that we provide. So I'm proud of that as well.
What other areas of counseling do you provide at Maria Droste?
Well, you know, we focus on from the very young. We have 3 therapists now that see children as young as 4,
Wow.
and then, you know, all the way up through adolescence
Yeah.
and high school, and then we all see middle-aged people, you know, like us, older, including the elderly.
Experienced.
I didn't say the elderly.
That's right.
And yeah, and we handle all the standard things. You know, mental health basically divides into depression-based symptoms or anxiety-based symptoms,
Okay.
and so there's all kinds of variations of that. And we all have our specific trainings.
Yes.
Many of us are trained in trauma modalities. So some people, you know, depression or anxiety things or things that have happened to them can be trauma-inducing, and so when we have clients that come in that need trauma help, we can provide that kind of counseling as well.
Are there areas that you don't currently offer that you'd like to?
Well, that's a good question. You know, right now we don't have therapists that specialize in autism. You know, so there's definite areas where it'd be nice to have other counselors doing certain types of things like that. But most of the people, over 90% of the people that come to us, we have people that can help them.
Okay.
And if we don't, we refer them out. So
I see.
That's also something we do. I mean, our mission is to, you know, accept everybody who comes to us.
Yes.
However, sometimes people that call might need in-hospital, or in, you know, hospitalization and inpatient, they call it.
Sure, yeah.
So we'll refer them out. Sometimes we're calling 911 for them, or calling the Boston Best team, you know, depending on if people call us in a crisis.
Yeah.
And other times we can get people that are in a crisis that, you know, we can handle in that day or the next day. So it's one of the advantages of being a smaller agency and
Flexible, right?
flexible,
Yeah.
nimble. Yeah.
Is substance use treatment part of your counseling as well?
We don't have a straight substance abuse counselor, substance use counselor. We have, but we do, like I'm trained in what's called dual diagnosis.
see.
So a lot of people come in presenting with anxiety or depression type, you know, mental health issues, and they might have substance abuse attached to it,
Gotcha.
and then we work with that.
It's a
So
symptom of the deeper problem.
That's right,
Yeah,
and so
okay.
it kind of works together with you know, the anxiety they're having or whatever, and so most of us handle that, and you know, but there is another counselor, you know, LADC licensed alcohol and drug use counselors that see people specifically for that modality,
Okay.
and it's straight about the substance use.
Sure.
Yeah,
You are a registered 501c3 nonprofit
that's right.
as well, right?
Yes.
So donations are tax deductible.
That's right.
Information.
Donations are tax deductible.
Yes, yes. Are you seeing at all or concerned at all about funding issues going forward? I know that other social service agencies are grappling with reduced federal funding specifically. Are you worried about that at Maria Droste?
Well, I would lie if I said I'm not worried about
Yeah.
funding. I'm always worried about
Well, of
funding.
course, as
but-
the executive
yeah,
director.
That's right.
Yeah.
However, we do have, you know, we have the CDBG block grant
Okay.
as really our only federal funding that comes
Gotcha.
through. Otherwise, everything's private grants and foundations as well as our donors.
Yes.
So we're not as affected as some of the agencies have been by that. Yeah,
Okay.
which is a help, actually.
Which makes Fashion for Compassion very important.
Yes, our annual fundraiser is very important.
Yes. So this is the big one, right, for Maria Droste every
That's
every
right. I
spring?
mean, because we're reducing the fee, we're using our sliding fee scale, where there's a lot of revenue we're not collecting, and we have to make that up
Yeah.
to keep people on staff and to hire good people like JJ, who's helping us out now.
Yeah. So Tuesday, May 19th, 6 p.m. at Granite Links right here in Quincy. And before we talk about it, JJ, let's talk about you. How did you come to Maria Droste?
So I have been a friend of Maria Droste for a very long time. A good friend of mine, Megan Earl-Levesque, is one of the counselors at Maria Droste, and actually a product of our internship program, and one of those counselors that came on full time. So I've been aware of the mission and the great work through my friend for many, many years. I've also participated in their fundraisers in the past. They did a music for mental health event that I was a part of twice, and we're hoping to bring that back this year as well, later in the year.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, it's been kind of like an evolving relationship, really. And then this past fall, there was an opportunity where a position was open, and Mike called me in and had a conversation, and one thing led to another, and I was able to come on full time. So I started here in December, and I'm very excited to be here and in the Quincy, network, and working for Maria Droste.
Yeah, you're a New England native, right?
Yes, I'm a native of Rhode Island.
Okay, all right.
Grew up in Westerly, Rhode Island.
Okay.
Now famous for Taylor Swift.
Okay.
I think the wedding's this summer, but I don't believe I'm on the guest list. But no, and I was in Providence, Rhode Island for the last several years. I was working at LaSalle Academy and Johnson Wales University before that.
Okay, all right. So what is your training? What's your background in?
So I have a major in English.
Okay.
My first career, I was part of a startup consulting business in the energy sector, natural gas and electricity commodity contracts. So I was in kind of energy consulting for close to 8 years. I ended up pivoting into fundraising. The latter half of my time in the energy business, I was a sales manager. Was looking for a change, and fundraising just kind of seemed like a fit. Fundraising was a lot of the same kind of skills and all of that as sales, but I wanted something more mission oriented, and so that's how I found my way into fundraising.
Yeah, so does the mission of Maria Droste, the mental health counseling mission, connect with you?
Oh, for sure, yes. So, in addition to having a close friend who is a counselor, I've been familiar with it through Megan for many years, but I myself have gone through therapy and benefited greatly from that too. So, mental health is very important, and it's very near to my heart. And I think that we've done a lot of great work as a culture of destigmatizing it, but we need to continue doing that.
Sure.
And people need to seek help when they need to, and it's very important.
Yeah, and remove the veil of secrecy, right?
Correct.
Talking
yes.
about it first and foremost,
Right.
So let's talk about Fashion for Compassion. So this is where you get to put all your skills into action, JJ, right? All your fundraising skills. What's going to be happening on Tuesday, May 19th, 6 p.m. at Granite Lakes?
We're very excited that Liam Martin is going to be our keynote speaker. So, Liam is another individual who's been very vocal about advocacy for mental health.
Yes.
He's a former news anchor, and he's a mental health advocate. We're very honored that he's going to be joining us as our keynote speaker. So he's kind of the highlight of the night. We have Lisa Donovan, another huge star in the local area, who's going to be MC. So Lisa's going to bring the energy for the evening.
Nice.
She's on Billy and Lisa in the Morning on iHeartRadio. One of our board members, Karen Donnellan, will be speaking as well. So we got a really good speaking program, some great guest speakers, and then the highlight of the night will be a big fashion show.
Yeah,
so the excitement kind of caps off the night at the end of it. We have some great local support with that too. On the show side, George and Dino, Lululemon, and Blue Mercury from Hingham. Patty Silver Designs is also supporting, and Aura Salon in Quincy. So it's a real kind of like local kind of get together and showcasing a lot of local talent. It's going to be a very fun and exciting evening, and I think most importantly, just bringing forth advocacy for and visibility of mental health, and celebrating getting better and seeking help and the joy and recovery.
Who are your models, JJ?
So the local vendors that I just mentioned are handling
They're
that.
providing that. Okay.
Thankfully, not the staff. Will.
That's for sure.
I think, Mike, weren't you a model one year?
No, they've never asked me.
Never asked you?
No surprise.
Okay. So staff from those organizations?
Yeah, those organizations that I just mentioned are running the show itself.
Okay.
So I think we have a large number of models, I think 30 or so,
Really?
that are going to be walking the runway.
Wow,
So,
okay.
And they'll be showcasing some great fashion from local talent, and it should be quite a show.
Is there an actual runway?
Yes, Yes, we do. We have. We'll have a full runway the length of the hall and in Granite Link. So
Nice.
it's a true fashion show.
Yeah, it sounds it. Is there refreshments, entertainment? Well, the entertainment, of course, is the show.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a seated dinner.
Oh, it is.
We'll have a buffet,
okay.
and as part of the program, there's a cocktail hour, 6 to 7 p.m.
Oh, very good.
Will be the cocktail hour, and then the program and dinner will start at 7 p.m.
Okay. How do folks participate in Fashion for Compassion?
So if you go to our website,
Okay.
mariadrostcounseling.com, there's a link to the fashion show website from there.
Okay.
You can register. Tickets are still for sale,
Okay.
so we're seeking to sell some more tickets. There's also still some sponsorship spots available.
Great.
We do want to thank a few of our sponsors that are
Please.
already in the door. Mayor Tom Koch in the city of Quincy is supporting the event. Claudia Sorgi, Welch Senior Living, Eastern Bank, and the Wesling family.
Okay.
We've also seen a real inspiring outpouring of support in memory of Tom Maloney, a board member of ours who recently passed.
Oh.
And Tom Maloney is a big Quincy native and you know, a very well respected man in the community.
Nice.
This event was very near and dear to his heart, so we're going to be dedicating this year's fashion show to Tom Maloney, and we've been seeing a lot of support in his honor for the event as well.
Oh, very nice. Okay, very good. So you said there is room still for more sponsorships?
Yes,
okay.
we are still seeking more sponsorships, and information on that's also on the website.
Okay.
And if anyone would like to attend, they can purchase a ticket there as well.
Okay, great. And do you have a kind of a fundraising goal, JJ, for the event?
We have not set a specific public
Okay.
goal,
All right.
but this is our biggest fundraiser of the year.
Yes.
And you know, as Mike was alluding to earlier, this money is supporting the clients who cannot afford the co-pays and have to use our sliding scale. So this supports directly people in need who cannot afford care.
Great. Okay, very good. And Mike, is it just kind of to the general operating fund of Maria Droste?
Absolutely,
It is.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, our biggest expense is salaries.
Right.
And,
With
you
most
know,
corporations, right? Most companies, yeah.
So 80 cents of every dollar raised in the Fashion for Compassion goes to helping clients and overcoming that deficit. So
Okay, all right, so,
it's a dedicated group of therapists we have, and they love working with clients, and clients love our space. You know, I think it's a vestige of the sisters that were there that created a healing, holistic space. And
yeah.
I always say, like, the wood remembers, you know, that we're in this old building, this old wood, and people come in and they just feel like, they come early, they say, because it's like, I just feel a calmness when I come, and I just like to sit ahead of my scheduled session. You know, you hear that a lot.
Really?
So I've paid attention to that over the years.
Yeah.
And we hear that in different ways. So we're continuing a great legacy begun by the sisters, and, you know, hoping it continues for many more years.
Well, certainly, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still offer virtual counseling?
Yes, we do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. I know that kind of started during the pandemic, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'd say it's 30 to 40% of our clients
Wow.
are virtual. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
And it does bring in people from further away,
I would
or they're, you know, because of the traffic in Boston, they can't make, they're like, hey, can we do it virtually today because
Yes.
I can't get there? No problem. You
Yes.
know, so it's helped us during like the big winter storms we had when
Sure.
therapists could work from home, clients could.
Yeah.
So I like it for that reason, but most clients, myself included, you prefer the one-on-one, you know, in person.
It's a total different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But for convenience sake, right? It is
Absolutely,
available.
yeah. So we do offer it. If some clients want it right away, it can only be virtual, no problem.
Okay.
Others have like a hybrid of it, and then some are just all the time they're in person.
In person, yeah, okay. Telephone and video, or both? Or?
Yeah, telephone and video.
Either
Some
one?
people don't have the video means, or
Right.
it's not good. It's not a strong connection, so we've done it over the phone with
Yep.
them. Others, you know, we've learned that if you turn off the video, usually the signal's good enough to still have the audio.
Sure, yeah.
So we work with people with what they've got, including just calling them on their phones.
Okay, good to know, good to know. You mentioned interns. Are there openings, internship availabilities?
Well, we do that around January
okay.
for the next fall. So this fall we
Yep.
do have 2 interns coming to Maria
in?
Droste. So
Great.
every year there's, you know, I'd say 1 to 4 interns, and so I'm happy to have two more people coming, and they're fully trained and have a great experience. So
Excellent.
yeah.
Very good. All right. And again, JJ, tickets still available for Fashion for Compassion. Do you need any help that night? Volunteer opportunities at all? Or?
Sure, we'd be happy to, anyone who would like to help us out, please feel free to contact us. Okay. But we are very happy. We have a great core of volunteers already. Eastern Bank is always very supportive on the volunteer end. Donna Kelby is our board chair, and she's very involved in the event. So we have a core from Eastern Bank, but we're always looking for volunteer help if anyone is interested to support in that way.
And maybe for music program later on this year, right? You never know.
Stay tuned for the,
Are you a musician
for the fall.
yourself?
Yes, I am, yes.
Oh, okay. What do you play?
I play guitar and sing, or try to sing.
Okay.
I suppose I try to play guitar as well.
No, you're good. I've heard him.
Mike is a musician as well. He's not going to get off the hook.
Oh, really?
I might. I'll have to start practicing. Maybe they'll let me play a song or two.
All right. We'll have to have you both back later on this year and get an update on that. Maybe a live performance.
That'd
Gentlemen,
be great.
Thank you both. Really
Thank
you.
You're very welcome. Check the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. It's beautiful May Day, actually, with a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures in the low 60s this afternoon. Chilly tonight in the mid 40s. The weekend, could be better, could be worse. Some showers around tomorrow afternoon, a little cool in the mid 50s. Showers linger Sunday morning, so not a washout, but keep an umbrella handy just in case. And Monday, back to work. It'll be beautiful with sunshine and a high near 70 degrees. Thanks again to Mike Shanahan, JJ Sorensen for joining us today.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks to our crew, and thank you for watching. Speaking of Monday, we'll learn about this year's Quincy Multicultural Festival. It's coming up later on this spring. Meantime, you can visit our website anytime, QATV.org. All of our latest programs are there. There's news, there's information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great weekend.